Right now, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Lance interview with Oprah Winfrey. Chris, you had to watch every minute of it, you said.
I did.
Forced to.
Forced.
By Lauriello.
Locked down in chains on the couch by Lauriello, yeah.
But someone who probably watched it with a bit more of a discerning eye than either one of us is Patryk Wezowski, founder of the Center for Body Language, who joins us right now on Xtra Sports 1360. Patryk, good morning. Welcome to the World of Sports.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, you watched the interview with Oprah Winfrey. There's a lot of people who say that Lance Armstrong may have come clean, but was still trying to avoid certain topics, was still trying to maybe skirt some issues. Give us your thoughts on whether Lance Armstrong was still hiding some things last night with Oprah Winfrey.
Well, he was hiding too much, but with the words he said, if he would have given a radio interview, it wouldn't be so much of a confession as it sounds, because his body language actually gave a lot more information. For example, when Oprah asked him about how he felt, how he thought that the other persons from his team, if they have had to be forced to also be part of it or not, you saw that one of his lip corners went upwards, which is a sign of contempt, of being proud. And also, at that time, you saw that he presses her lips, and also regularly he touches his lips with his hands. It's quite not so easy to explain it through the radio, but if you watch the video again, you'll see that actually he says with words that there were kind of expectations of others to comply, but actually he had everything in hand, and if somebody was not part of it, they were out.
So you could basically tell that he was answering one thing, but he was still thinking something else then, Patryk.
He was really actually being very subtle and politically correct with his words compared to his body language. For example, when Oprah Winfrey said it was a smart plan, it was kind of a good system, you saw also contempt on his face. And when she spoke about how important was it winning at all costs, you saw that he was really proud of it, that it was really important and he was amazingly ambitious for him to win. So actually he became like a victim of his own power addiction.
How about, Patryk, how about when he said that when he came back, made his comeback in 2009, that he did that without the aid of performance-enhancing drugs? Did he give out any body language to indicate that that might not be true?
No, I couldn't make up at that stage. However, in 2005, when you see the videos, for example, he's been asked, "Can you deny those allegations and so on?" And he says, "Absolutely yes, 100%," while he shakes his head. Clearly no. So there is clear incongruence in there. Concerning 2009, I guess he prepared his lines pretty well. But what was also interesting to see, what I think is really an important and interesting topic, is that why has he hidden this for so long? Why has it taken so long to confess? Is that an interesting thing? No?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that's what everybody's been trying to figure out for a long, long time. Patryk Wezowski is the founder for Center for Body Language, trying to break down a little bit of Lance Armstrong's interview with Oprah Winfrey. What kinds of things are you looking at, Patryk? I mean, when you're watching the interview, and what kinds of things can we see when we're looking at the interview, the rest of the interview tonight, that might help give away some of the lies or truths of Lance Armstrong?
Well, the conclusion actually was that at the moment that Oprah, at the end, asked him and speaks with him, you see that his knees are coming closer to each other. They're like trembling almost. He touches also his lips. He presses on his lips. He hides his belly with his hands. and actually he's getting really nervous. And the conclusion actually is something that what happens quite a lot with liars. Lance has been justifying his own lies for himself by giving a different definition to certain words, by being very politically correct, and by making his own definition of lies.
He even said that cheating, he looked up the definition of cheating and said it's gaining an advantage on an opponent, and he says, I wasn't cheating because I was not gaining an advantage.
Exactly. And he said that he didn't cheat because at the moment of the races, he wasn't using any substances, but before and after that, he was. So where is that gray line, you know? So just as Oprah remarked very, very good, was that he just changes the words. It's just semantics.
Patryk, do you ever play poker?
Of course, and my friends don't want to play with me, unfortunately, because I can see the microexpressions. That's what we look for. Microexpressions are very tiny movements of the face in the facial muscles of half a second or shorter, and they can reveal hidden emotions like anger, disgust, contempt in the case of Lance Armstrong, but you saw also controlled sadness at some stages when he presses his lips and looks down. And these are very tiny movements that are the most reliable signs to know how somebody feels.
I actually just I don't care about Lance Armstrong anymore. I just want to know, how do I know if the guy I'm playing against has a made hand and when he's bluffing? Just give me one little tip so I've got a chance at the poker table.
Well, the moment that your opponent looks to his cards, and when you see the upper lip going slightly upwards and or wrinkles around the nose, that's a sign of disgust. If it happens shorter than half a second, it's a microexpression of disgust, and you would have the same expression on your face. Imagine that you open the refrigerator and you take out an 8 weeks old cheese that is completely green. You feel that around your nose?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what happens just a fraction of a second when your opponent has really bad cards.
Ah, there we go. All right, the green cheese theory, Ben.
All right, I think that might be the best thing that I got from Patryk, because I know Lance Armstrong's lying, Patryk. I mean, there's some truth, there's some false to that, but I'm going to take the green cheese theory to my next card game. Absolutely,
I like that. Hey, Patryk, one last thing I wanted to ask you about Lance Armstrong. Do you believe that he believes everything that he keeps saying is the truth? I mean, can you tell from his body language whether he thinks that he's actually changing some people's minds out there about him?
Well, I don't think he changes a lot of minds at the stage where he is right now. But it's quite a big confession he did. But he tried actually to bring it in a subtle way with the words he was saying. But his body language, actually, he is aware that he was totally wrong, and much wrong that he dares to say it.
Patryk, appreciate you spending some time with us this morning. Long distance, all the way calling us from India, so appreciate you giving us some time here in San Diego. Thank you, Patryk.
Interesting
With pleasure.
stuff.
Thank you very much.